The item we're going to be listing today is a vintage Tupperware sheer lid or seal, depending on what you prefer to call it. All right, now that we have our item picked out, let's talk about supplies you'll need. So here I have a food scale that goes up to 11 pounds, a tape measure to measure the item and photograph it, and to measure the package so that you can get your shipping price figured out, package tape of course, and a bubble mailer to put the item in and get it ready to ship. Now that we're ready to photograph, I'm laying down a black background to put my lid on so that it can be seen better compared to just using a plain white background. And I'll be taking a picture right here of the front using the flash on my camera to get the perfect lighting for it. And then flipping that item over just so I can get the backside pictures as well. Want to make sure that buyer is getting photographs of all angles, especially showing things that might be broke or any such thing. And here we are measuring the item. Like I had mentioned before, you'll want to measure while photographing so that your customer or buyer knows what they should be expecting to purchase. Especially if it's a lid like this, they want to know they're buying the right lid for the right item they want to use it on. And I just clicked on that Sell Similar button. I have a lid that's close to the same size as the one we're listing today, and it just made it easier because most of it was filled out in the item description and all that. So when you want to sell similar, make sure you change measurements and mold or serial numbers just so that when buyers are searching, they'll find your item and it might just be the item they're looking for. And when you go into that item specific area, make sure you fill in as many details as possible because that helps your item get searched more and you get more views and possibly find a buyer for your item. On to getting those images all downloaded, I message them to myself on Facebook and then go on Facebook on my laptop, download them from there, and then I move them into a hard drive where I keep a digital inventory. I have 3 different folders that I put all my items in. One's for Tupperware, another one is for clothing, and then my other one is for miscellaneous items. So here I am renaming the photos so that I know which item it is. And then once I get that all typed out correctly, I copy them, or cut them actually, move them over to the item folder I need to put it in, such as the Tupperware one here. So we're in the Tupperware folder, that pasted, and then I drag them into eBay. eBay lets you put up to 12 pictures, so if you need to put 12 pictures of your items, go ahead and do so. Rearrange them how you like them, and then make sure you go to look at your description section. You want to make sure that's filled out as well. Here I'm going to delete something I didn't like, check all my other details, make those are correct, go down, check my price. I like the price. And now we are ready to get the weight and measurements for our item packaging. All ready to list, we need to get the shipping all figured out. So what I like to do is I like to also reuse packaging. Is another thing I reuse when I get Amazon packages or such. And customers like to make sure that their items come in good condition, you know, don't have a weird smell and all that fun stuff. So I have this little plastic bag that I had left over from something and it's in perfect condition, nothing wrong with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use it to be a little extra protective layer, I could say, for that. Just in case the package ever gets opened by accident through the mailing process, we are hopefully covering it so that it's not going to have any issues with it when it hopefully arrives at the buyer's location. Alright, so now that I got it all taped up, and I just used some Scotch tape, get this poly mailer out. And I know it's ginormous compared to this, but like I said before, this is all I have. So I just put it in there. As you can see, it's about right there. And then what I do is I just, actually if I can get it to the middle, that works better too. Get it to the middle, kind of figure out where I'm going to fold it at. Perfect, right there. Another thing I learned to do to help when you're weighing your item is to just take a plain piece of paper because you're going to put a packing slip in. Most people do this, I do this. You're not really required to, I believe, but this is just what I do. I like to make sure the customer knows where it came from, and if the package ever gets lost is another good reason to have a packing slip. So what I do is I put like a fake one in there when I'm doing my listing, and even when I'm getting ready to ship out, which I can do in a different video, and I'll show you how that works. So I just take this fake one and I just stick it in with the item. And then what I do is I get it all situated again, take it and fold her up, and then I don't obviously seal it because you don't want to seal it until you're ready to ship it. I take some Scotch tape and I temporary seal it. And I just take that tape, put it around there, just get it to how I would normally seal it up if I were to ship it out right now. And just like that. Time to weigh our package now. So all you have to do is get your scale turned on. Mine's already on, so I just put my package on there. Mine says that it is 2.5 ounces, so I'm going to round up to 3 because I have to factor in the weight of the amount of tape I'm going to use to seal it up and to put my shipping label on. My shipping label I'm going to use is just plain printer paper, so it's not going to weigh it down too much. But if you use a shipping label that you just send through your printer, it might be a heavier duty, such as my other labels I have that I use for boxes usually take up 0.1 ounces, so I have to round up a little more sometimes on my weights. So just keep that in mind when you are weighing your item. You want to be as close as you can to it and not overcharge or undercharge when you are shipping out your item. Now we need to get our measurements before we can complete this listing. So we need a length, width, and height. So my length on this one is 11.5, but I need to round up to the next number, which is 12, because eBay prefers it that way. And then my width is 8. And then when I do my height, sometimes depending on the package, I like to push down. So like when I put my marker here, I like to push on this out in case it like bulges out when they're measuring it, if they were to measure it. So then this is a little over 1 inch, so I'm gonna have to round up to 2 inches just to be safe. Now that we have this all done and the information from the weight, we can go into our shipping area on our listing. And I go ahead and change that weight number, get the new length, the width was the right size, and then that height difference needed to be changed. Hit that enter button, let the numbers get all rearranged, and those should be good. Make sure you have a secondary shipping option. Lots of buyers like that option. And then I go ahead and usually do a good double check, make sure I got everything typed right, nothing's missing, and all that fun stuff. And then I go down, hit that list button, pops up with that promotional thing, but we'll deal with that in a minute. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's live in my profile. And then I go ahead and hit that button over there, go find the most recent one. There it is. Click on it, and that's what potential buyers will see when they find your item. Go through those pictures, that's what you're going to see as a buyer. And then we'll go ahead and promote it. As of recently, you had to put 2% as your minimum when promoting, but you can go higher. And that's how this whole process works.